शुक्लांबरधरं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करं। नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै। नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलेभ्यो नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः। ॐ नमः परमहंसास्वादितचरणकमलचिन्मकरन्दाय भक्तजनमानसनिवासाय श्रीरामचन्द्राय ॐ। So we have to start 49th Sarga. We have seen 48th Sarga in the previous session. In this previous Sarga, what we have seen is Vishwamitra narrates the story of Ahalya. So how Ahalya was cursed by Gautama, etc. That story was narrated, and then he says that Gautama has instructed Ahalya that when in the future this Rama, Dasharathatmajaha Ramaha, will come to this ashrama, and that time is when your tapas will be completed and you will be rid of your shapa. So as we were discussing after the session last time, so this could mean, so if we are Rama Bhaktas, we will look at it by saying that it was, of course, it is a prophecy that in the future this Rama, a person will come, he will be born as Dasharathatmaja, etc. That Rama will come, and then that Rama has the capacity to let's say kind of uh, kind of bless Ahalya so that she could come out of her papa that she has committed. So you could say that he has the power to uh, he has the power to remove that papam that Ahalya has incurred, etc. Or it could also mean that it is indicated that when Rama will come, till then you have to do tapas, and then Rama's coming is it kind of indicates that that Ahalya's tapas is now fructified. That is, her papa has been removed. You can say that way. For either things, you can there is justification. For example, in this chapter, you will see both kind of understand. So both kind of tones are there. Vishwamitra also says, Rama, it is up to you. Now it is upon you. You should enter here and rid Ahalya of her curse, etc. So these sentiments are there. So it all depends on our Shraddha. Everything in Hindu Dharma ultimately boils down to our Shraddha. Okay, so we should have Shraddha, and that changes our perspective. So Shraddha is like Puja Swamiji used to say, belief pending understanding. You should either know it firsthand. You should be a tapas to know why we are doing things, the reason behind what we are doing, or just take it by Shraddha. So either of these two things you should have. So like Krishna says, Agnascha Ashraddhadanascha Samshayatma Vinashyati. It is good to doubt. You doubt, but then that is you question. You ask questions, but you don't be an Agnyaha and ask, or don't be Ashraddhadhanaha and ask. So you either have Shraddha and then ask questions, because in certain times you just have to say, so this is how elders have said. So you have to take it by Shraddha. Or you should be a tapas to see these kind of the cause effect relationships that is mentioned in the Vedas, etc. All the Smriti Granthas, these things Mahatmas can see firsthand. So those things are accepted in even in Vedanta. We accept that Mahatmas have this drishti through which they can see these connections, etc. So anyway, so it boils down to Shraddha. So out of Shraddha, we take that Rama is an Avatara Purusha, or without that Shraddha also, you can somehow manage through Valmiki's Ramayana. If Valmiki is non-committal, he's not entirely, committing to the idea that Rama is an Avatara. Here and there, this is an objective fact, okay? So here and there, he hints at it, and even those hints we pick up based on our Shraddha towards Rama. Some place he is very explicit, but then those are very, very rare. Valmiki is hardly commit. He's not committal. That is, he doesn't want to explicitly say, because he writes it as a kavya, and then he thinks this kavya, rasa, etc. It's more, it's more stronger if this truth is hidden. I was thinking of something the other day. So Krishna is an avatar, and so recently I was listening to some satsang questions that were put to Swamiji, and he answers a question there. So are these people who don't read Bhagavad Gita, etc., but then they have a particular attitude towards life. If there are some problems that life has thrown to them, then they take it upon them, and have that titiksha and endure those problems, etc., are those people also karma yogis? Okay, so Swamiji says yes, they are. They are. In fact, he says Gita's teaching has come from such people. So we say that you can. So some people say like that you can have that attitude only when you read Gita. That is true. But then Gita itself has come from a person who has endured that problems. If you see the story of Krishna that is there in Mahabharata, etc., from Bhagavatam also, he has seen so many problems in life. And then if you see the message that Krishna gives in the Gita, in the light of Krishna's own story, before up to Mahabharata war, how much struggle he has undertaken right from his childhood. So within a few days of his birth, Putana came to poison him, etc. From that time onwards, how many times he goes up and down. He goes between Pandavas and Kauravas as their messenger. He tries a lot of things. So in that sense, still he could maintain that equanimity which he has been talking about in Gita, etc. In that sense, if you look, the message is even more inspiring. So perhaps that way Valmiki also is in therefore non-committal. I'm saying so. It's not that Valmiki is being politically correct or something like that. It's just that kind of inspiration or the rasa that we draw from the epic increases if the fact that Rama is an avatara is not so explicitly stated. So anyway, be that as it may, out of Shraddha we take these things. So it is. So I am a Ram Bhakta myself. I have no qualms in accepting that Rama is an avatara. So anyway, we will enter to this sarga, 49th sarga, artha एकोनपञ्चाशः सर्गः अफलस्तु ततः शक्रो देवान् अग्निपुरोगमान् अब्रवीत् त्रस्तनयनः सिद्धगन्धर्वचारणान् so ततः shakrah. So the shakra was cursed. So Indra was also cursed. In other Puranas there are, so in Padma Purana, etc., there are stories of Indra being cursed to become Sahasraksha. Okay, that is Gautama cursed. So in fact the story is even more, something else, and then Gautama first curses him something else, and then he remedies that curse to say, okay, not that, but at least your body will be filled with 100, as though 1,000 eyes, as though your body is covered by eyes, you will look like that to people. So to people you will appear as Sahasraksha, he says. So that's according to Valmiki's Ramayana. Gautama cursed Indra to lose his, testicles. So Aphalaha he becomes. So Aphalaha Shakraha Tataha Aphalastu Tataha Shakraha. So that Shakra who was thus cursed by Gautama, that you become Aphala, that Shakra, that Indra who was cursed, Devan Agni Purogaman Abravit. So he spoke the following words, Abravit, to whom? To Devas, to the Devatas. Devan Agni Purogaman Devan. That is these Devatas who have Agni as their forerunner. Agni goes in front and then Devatas follow, etc. So that is what is Purohita also means. Agni Mile Purohitam when you are saying. So Purohita is somebody who thinks of your welfare even before you. So that way, Agni. So I told this earlier also. So anyway, Devatas are, so they keep Agni in their front and go, something like that. So Devan Agni Purogaman, and also Siddha Gandharva Charana. So these Devatas, so Siddhas, Charanas, all of them were assembled, and then Indra spoke to them the following words. And how was Indra? He was Trastanayanaha. So he was himself very troubled by this kind of curse turn of events that has happened. So Trastanayanaha Abravit. Trastavadanaha also there is a patha. So but this is Tilakakara's patha, Trastanayanaha. कुर्वता तपसो विघ्नं गौतमस्य महात्मनः क्रोधमुत्पाद्य हि मया सुरकार्यमिदं कृतं. सो तपसः गौतमस्य तपसः विघ्नं सो महात्मनः गौतमस्य तपसा विघ्नं कुर्वता मया क्रोधमुत्पाद्य सुरकार्यमिदं कृतं. So Indra is telling, so surakaryam maya kritam, I have achieved this task, or I have done this task which is desired by all these devatas. Surakaryam is devatas karyam. So the karyam, that is this task that is well desired by all the devatas, that I have done. Maya kritam. So what is that karyam? So Gautamasya Mahatmanaha tapasaha vighnam. So that is to kind of give, to what should I say, to see that some Vighnam happens in Gautama's tapas. So this Mahatma Gautama was doing some great tapas. So some tapas some Vighnam should be caused to that Gautama's tapas. Otherwise, because of his tapas shakti, he can dislodge all the devatas from their positions, and he can take up that position. So this devatas seemingly have this kind of insecurity always. Somebody is performing tapas, so they might replace. I've seen earlier from, I think, Tilakakara's Vyakhya only, during Ashwamedha Yaga, there are two types of devatas who are always there. They are those mantra, those devatas who are related to the mantras of Vedas, etc. And then devatas who are positional. So they take that office of devatas. So those kind of devatas seemingly are very insecure. If anybody is performing tapas, they are afraid that he might dislocate or dislodge us. So therefore, this Mahatmanaha Gautamasya Vighnam Tapasaha Vighnam Kurvata. So by me who was doing this Vighnam, so by me who has done this Vighnam to Mahatma Gautama's tapas, so Surakaryam idam kritam. This is Surakaryam, this is what is desired by all devatas, and I have done. And how did I do it? Krodam utpadya maya kritam. So I kind of disturbed his tapas. I caused a disturbance in his tapas. How did I do it? By generating anger in him. Krodam utpadya maya surakaryam idam kritam. This Vighna to Gautama's tapas was done by me by generating anger in Gautama. So by generating anger, what did happen? How does it serve our purpose? That he's telling next shloka. Aphalosmi kritastena krodhat sacha nirakrita shapa mokshena mahata taposyapa hritam maya. So aham. So apalaha me. So krodhat mahata shapamokshena. So krodhat mahata shapamokshena apalaha kritaha asmi. So shapamokshanam means that disbursing that curse. So by uttering that curse, that great curse, very disturbing curse, mahata shapamokshena, and that shapamokshanam, how did it happen? It happened because of his anger. Krodhat mahata shapamokshena apalaha kritosmi. So now I have become a person who has lost. So now I have become a person who's apalaha. That is, I have lost the testicles through his shapa. And then sacha nirakrita. Sa means that Ahalya. Ahalya cha nirakrita. Ahalya has been abandoned by him. That is, for temporarily he said, you go and perform tapas, and he went away to Himalayas, etc. Sacha nirakrita. So this mahata shapamokshena asya tapaha maya apahritam. I have taken away that tapas shakti, whatever result he has got by performing tapas for so long, that result I have taken away. So maya tapaha apahritam. So asya tapaha apahritam. That is, his tapas, result of all the tapas that he performed so far, I have taken away. That is, the idea is a person who's in tapas. So if he utters a curse, then that means he will lose his tapas shakti. All the result that he has gained by his tapas so far, he will lose. That is, it's there mentioned in all the smritis. That is what Tikakaras are telling. So you cannot disturb a person's tapas unless by making him angry. That is the idea. And so Indra made him angry and made him lose his tapas phalam so far. Tanmam suravara sarve sarshi sangha sacharanaha surakarya karam yuyam saphalam kartumarhatha. So tanmam, so tat means that me means that me who has thus achieved the purpose for all the devatas. Suravara sarve. So all you, hey Suravaraha, so hey Suravara, all you devatas, sarve Suravaraha, sarshi sanghaha, sacharanaha, so saphalam kartumarhatha. So you people, so yuyam sarve, all of you, so Surakarya karam means Surakarya kartaram, that is me who has achieved this purpose, this task of the devatas, saphalam kartumarhatha. So you should again see to it that I regain this phalam that I have lost, that is the testicles that I have lost. You should see to it that I gain them back. Saphalam kartumarhatha. That is, you should be doing it. So because I have done something for you, you should do something back for me. Kartumarhatha. So I should be, that loss that has happened to me has to be undone. Shatakrato vachashrutva devas sagnipuro gamaha pitrudevan upetyahuhu sarve saha marudganaihi. So Shatakratoho vachashrutva. So Indra is called Shatakratu. So he himself got this place because he has done Shatakratu. So 100 Ashwamedha yagas or something. So 100 great yagas he has done. Therefore he got this position of Indra, and now he is jealous that somebody else might take away his position. So Shatakratoho vachashrutva, having heard those words of Indra, Devaha Sagni Purogamaha. So Devas themselves are Agni Purogamaha. So what is this Devas Sagni Purogama? Devatas along with those who have Agni in the front of them. That is, here you can take Agni Purogamaha as Rishayaha. So Devatas along with Rishis. You can take it that way. Devaha Sagni Purogamaha Pitrudevan Upetya Ahuhu. So these Devatas, Sarve Devaha Saha Marudganaihi, all these Devatas along with Marudganas and Sagni Purogamaha, along with those people who have Agni in front of them. That is, they go with Agni. That is these Rishis. Rishayaha you can take. So these Devatas, Marudganas, Rishis, all of them. So Pitrudevan Upetya Ahuhu. They went to these Pitrudevatas and spoke to them. So all the commentators are saying Pitrudevatas are Kavyavahanadayaha. So you must have heard in Brahma Yajnam this mantra is there. So So Somah Pitruman Yamongiraswan Agni Kavyavahanadayaha. So that mantra is there. This Kavyavahanadayaha, they are saying these Pitruganas are there. Some seven or eight Pitruganas are there. So Somaha Angiraswan Yamaha, so Agni, Kavyavahana, all these people are there. The Pitrugana, so Barhishvataha, etc. So all these Pitraganas are there. These people went to that Pitraganas and then spoke the following words: Ayam Meshas Savrushanaha Shakro Hyavrishanah Krataha Meshasya Vrishanau Grihya Shakrayashu Prayachata. So Shakraha Avrushanaha Krataha. The Shakra has been, Indra has been cursed that he becomes Avrishana. Avrishana is that testicle, so he has been cursed to be, so he has been cursed to lose that. So he has been cursed to be Avrishanaha. And then Ayam Meshaha Savrishanaha, there is a Mesha in front of them. Mesha is a goat. So there is a goat in front of them. Where did this goat come from? This goat is something that has been offered to these Pitur Devatas. You know, humans have offered that to Pitur Devatas, this goat. So Ayam Meshaha, that is this Mesha that is in front of you. That is this Mesha that you have obtained as your Havi, you know, Havishtwena Kalpitaha. So this Mesha that is in front of you, which was offered to you as Havis. So that Meshaha, that is having, so that is Savrushanaha, that is having the testicle. So but this Indra is Avrushanaha. Therefore Meshasya Vrishanau Gruhya Chakrayashu Prayachata. So you have to take those Vrishanas from those Mesha, from that Mesha, and then offer it to Shakra, to Indra. Ashu Prayachata is very quickly. So quickly what you should do, so take those Vrishana from the Mesha and give it to Indra. Aphalastu Kruto Meshaha Param Tushtim Prasadyati Pradasyati Bhavatam Harshanarthancha Yecha Dasyanti Manavaha Akshayam Hi Phalam Tesham Akshayam Hi Phalam Tesham Yuyam Dasyatha Pushkalam. So you might ask, Pitrudevatas might ask them, but if that Vrishana is removed, then how would we consume it? So we might not get that joy of consuming a complete goat. We will get joy, only so much joy as consuming a Avrishana goat. So then Devatas are telling, Aphalastu Kruto Meshaha Param Tushtim Pradasyati. This Mesha which is going to be rendered to be Avrishana. That is this Mesha whose Vrishanas we are asking for you. Even if you consume that Mesha, you will get Param Tushtim Pradasyati. This Mesha which will be rendered Avrishana, that Mesha will give you Param Tushtim. So exceeding satisfaction it will give you. And then Bhavatam Harshanarthancha Ye Dasyanti Manavaha Akshayam Hi Phalam Tesham Yuyam Dasyatha Pushkalam. Here also, henceforth, whoever offers to you a Mesha without Vrishanas, those Manavas, Bhavatam Harshanartham, they are offering this Mesha to you for your own joy. That is, as Havis they are offering. So Bhavatam Harshanartham cha Yecha Dasyanti Manavaha, those Manavas who Dasyantis, who offer to you as Havis. So whoever offers an Avrishana Mesha to you, to them you bless them, that so you will also get Akshaya Phalam or Akshaya Trupti, and you also bless them that they get Akshaya Phalam because of this offering to you. So Akshayam Hi Phalam Tesham Yuyam Dasyatha. So Yuyam means you people, that is you Pitraganas. So Tesham Akshayam Phalam Pushkalam Phalam Dasyatha. So Akshayam is that which does not have any, decay. So that Punya Phalam is so great that it will last forever. So you should take up till this, what should I say, up till this Srishti remains, that is this Kalpa remains, till that end of that Kalpa they will be in Swargaloka, something like that. And then Pushkalam, abundant Phalam. So Akshayam Phalam and Pushkalam Phalam. So why am I saying Akshayam like this? I think I mentioned already that there is no, so Karma Phalam has to lose its power after some time. But then we say Akshayam, so Chaturmasyasya Phalam, Akshayam, some statements are there like that in Shruti, those are to be understood. It's so long that up till this sarga, that is this kalpa remains, so long will they be remaining in Brahmaloka, etc. So relatively Akshayam, you should take it that way. Akshayam Pushkalam Phalam Yuyam Dasyatha Tesham Dasyatha. You also bless those people, those Manavas who offer to you this Avrishana Meshas. To them you offer Akshayam Phalam. You bless them with Akshayam and Pushkalam Phalam. Agnestu Vachanam Shritva Piturdeva Samagataha Utpatya Mesha Vrishanau Sahasrakshe Nyaveshayan. So Agnestu Vachanam Shrutva. So on behalf of all the Devatas, perhaps Agni spoke to them. So Agnestu Vachanam Shrutva, having heard those words of Agni, Piturdeva Samagata, all those Piturdevatas. So Samagataha here means Militva. So all of them together. What did they do? Piturdeva Samagata means Samyagagataha, that is Militva, all of them together. Mesha Vrishanau Utpatya. So the Vrishanau, that is the two Vrishanas of that Mesha Utpatya, they plucked it from that Mesha and Sahasrakshe Nyaveshayan. They offered it to Sahasraksha Indra. Tada Prabhriti Kakutstha Pitrudeva Samagataha Aphalan Bhunjate Meshan Phalaistesham Ayojayan. So Tada Prabhriti, from that day onwards, He Kakutstha Rama, from that day onwards means from the day that they offered these Mesha Vrishana to Indra, from that day onwards, Pitrudevaha Samagataha Aphalan Bhunjate. So all these Pitrudevatas together, they only consume Aphala Mesha. So Aphalan Bhunjate Meshan. So Aphalan Meshan Bhunjate. They consume those Meshas which are Aphala. Aphala is so what is it? So Avrushana, that is Meshas or goats without those testicles. So Aphalan Meshan Bhunjate. Why? Phalais Tesham Ayojayan. So this Phalais Tesham Ayojayan, Tilakakara and Shiromanikara are explaining it differently. So Tesham Phalaihi here is plural. So you should take it Phalabhyam. That is two Vrishano. So Phalaihi means Phalabhyam, Vrishanabhyam, Indram Ayojayan. So from that day onwards, they consume only Aphalaihi. So Aphalan Meshan they consume. Why? Because they have offered the Vrishana of that Mesha. Of that particular Mesha, that day they offered to Indra those Vrishanas. Therefore, henceforth, they only consume Aphala Mesha. Or Shiromanikara says, so Phalaihi Savrishana Mesha Danochita Punyehi Ayojayan. So Tesham means Vrishana Rahita Mesha Datrinam Phalaihi Savrishana Mesha Danochita Punyehi Ayojayan. That is, from that day onwards, even if somebody offered a Mesha without Vrishanas, Pitru Devatas, because they were very happy of that boon that the Devatas gave them, that this Vrishana Mesha will give you exceedingly high satisfaction. Therefore, even if human beings offered a Mesha without Vrishana, these people still bless that Yajaman or whoever offered that Mesha. They offered him or they blessed him with as much result as somebody who would get with a Savrishana Mesha. If somebody offers, how much result this person gets, these Devatas, these Pitru Devatas gave the same result to these Manavas who offered Avrishana Mesha. So Indrastu Mesha Vrishanas Tada Prabhatira Ghava Gautamasya Prabhavena Tapasa Cha Mahatmanaha. So Indra also Tada Prabhriti, from that day onwards, He Raghava Mesha Vrishanaha. So Indra lost his Vrishana due to Gautama's Shapa, and then because these Pitru Devatas offered that Mesha's Vrishana, Indra also from that day became somebody who had Mesha Vrishana. He lost his own Vrishana and then kind of some surgery or something. So Mesha Vrishanas Indra possessed from that day. Gautamasya Prabhavena, so Tapasa Cha Mahatmanaha. So Gautamasya Tapasa Prabhavena, Mahatmanaha Gautamasya Tapasa Prabhavena Cha is used. That is, because of Gautama's Tapashakti, he had to become Mesha Vrishana. That is, because of Gautama's Tapashakti, he was cursed to become Avrishana, and as a remedy to that, now he became Mesha Vrishana. And this Chakara indicates, Tilakakara is telling, this Chakara is not there in Shiromanikara's Patha. Shiromanikara's Patha is what? Shiromanikara's Patha is Tapasasya. So Tapasasya Mahatmanaha. So this Chakara indicates, according to Tilakakara, that it is because of his own papam also. His papam was also, his karma was also like that, and due to that karma he got this shapam, and Gautama was eligible or capable of giving that shapam because of that tapashakti, and therefore he lost his Vrishana, and then as a remedy he became now Mesha Vrishana, etc. Tada gaccha Mahateja ashramam punykarmanaha tarayinam mahabhagam ahalyam devarupinim. So tada gaccha, he Mahateja, he Rama. So tadagacha, that is this ashramam, tadagacha, tad ashramam agacha, come to that ashrama, that is this ashrama. So far I have told you that story. So agacha, he Rama, come. So punyakarmanaha ashramam. So that is punyakarmanaha Gautamasya ashramam agacha tarayainam mahabhagam ahalyam. This mahabhaga ahalya is mahabhaga, that is extremely lucky. Why? Because so Rama is going to come to see her, that is why she is mahabhaga. So mahabhagam ahalyam tarayainam ahalyam taraya, that is you kind of remove her of her, or rather what should I say, taraya is so cross her over through that sin that she has incurred, cross her over. Tarayenam mahabhaga mahalyam, and she is Devarupini. So Devarupini means so she's exceedingly beautiful, etc., and she looks as though she's a devata, she's of divine origin, etc., such kind of meaning. So Devarupini. Vishwamitra vachashrutva Raghava saha Lakshmanaha Vishwamitram puraskritya ashramam praviveshah. So Vishwamitra vachah shrutva Raghavah, Rama, having heard those words of Vishwamitra, Saha Lakshmanaha, along with Lakshmana, Vishwamitram Puraskritya, he kept Vishwamitra in front. That is, Vishwamitra went ahead and Rama and Lakshmana followed him. Ashramam Praviveshaha. So Vishwamitra went and then Rama and Lakshmana followed him and they entered that ashrama. Ashramam Praviveshaha. Now see, he is giving a description of that Ahalya who is rising from her tapas. So Dadarshaja Mahabhagam tapasa Dyotita Prabham Lokairapi Samagamya Durnireksham Surasuraihi Prayatnan Nirmitam Dhatra Divyam Mayamayimiva Dhumenabhiparitangim Deeptam Agnishikamiva Satusharavrtam Sabhram Purnachandra Prabhamiva Madhyem Bhaso Duradharsham Deeptam Surya Prabhamiva Sahi Gautamavakyena Durnirikshya Babhuvaha Prayanamapi Lokanam Yavad Ramasya Darshanam Shapasyantam Upagamya Tesham Darshanamagata. So this Durnirikshyam Tadarsha. So this Rama and Vishwamitra and Lakshmana, they saw this Durnirikshyam Ahalyam. So Dadarshacha Mahabhaga. She is Mahabhaga because so this Rama's darshana, Rama has come to see her. That is her luck there. So she was cursed to say that as long as Rama doesn't come, your curse will not be, or your papa will not be cleansed. But then who knows, if Rama may come or may not come, then Rama actually came also to rid her of her sin. Therefore she is Mahabhaga. So Dadarshacha Mahabhagam tapasa Dyotita Prabham. So she is having that great splendor or luster around her. How is that luster? Why did she get that splendor around her? Because of tapas. So tapasa Dyotita Prabham. Her prabha, that is, there is this whatever the aura, they say something like that. The luster, kanti that is coming out of her body, that is shining. Dyotita Prabham, that shining prabha she is having. Why? Because of tapasa. So tapasa Dyotita Prabham. Lokairapi Samagamya Durniriksham Sura. So Samagamya Dadarsha, you can say. So having entered there, I think that's how you should say Samagamya. So other way Tilakakara is telling Surasuraihi Samagamya Lokairapi Durniriksham. So Lokaihi Surasurairapi Samagamya Durniriksham. So she is not visible to Laukaihi is people of this earth, and then Suras are Devatas and Asuras are Rakshasas. So to any of them she is Durniriksham. She is not to be, she is something that nobody can spot her. That is because of her tapas she has become invisible. So invisibly she is doing the tapas that way. So Lokairapi Samagamya Durniriksham Surasuraihi. So that is Lokaihi Surasurairapi Samagamya Durniriksham. That is to none of them. So even if three of them come together and try to spot Ahalya, they will not be able to spot her. Prayatnan Nirmitam Dhatra Divyam Mayamayimiva. So she is Dhatra Prayatnan Nirmitam. So it seems Brahmadeva also had to make some efforts in creating her. So all of us very naturally he creates perhaps, but then in Ahalya he took extra caution, extra thought, etc. he put into it and then created this Ahalya. So Dhatra Prayatnan Nirmitam. Dhatra is so Brahmadevena. So that Brahmaji put great efforts into creating her. Prayatnan Nirmitam Divyam. Divyam is, she is that, again she is like Devata herself. Maya Mayimiva. Her body is a Divya Sharira. Why? Because it is Maya Mayimiva. So it is as though created out of Deva Maya. That Ahalya is looking like that. So and then now he's actually describing how that Ahalya is when she is rising from her tapas. Dhumena Abhiparitangim Deeptam Agnishikamiva. So Abhiparitangim, Dhumena Abhiparitangim is so just a second. This is shloka 14. So Dhumena Abhiparitani Vyaptani Angani Yasyaha Sa Dhumena Abhiparitangi Tam Dhumena Abhiparitangim Dadarsha. So her limbs, so limbs are as though engulfed by smoke. So what Tilakakara is trying to say is even Rama, Lakshmana and Vishwamitra only are seeing her vaguely. Even everybody else can never see her, but Rama, Lakshmana and Vishwamitra are able to see her only vaguely. Why are they also able to see only vaguely? Because her tapas is only complete when Rama comes and then she has to offer Atithyam also. So that is why they are only able to see vaguely. So Dhumena Abhiparitangim. So Dhumena Abhiparitangim is as though she is shrouded by smoke. That is her angas, her body, limbs, etc. So Abhiparitangim is Vyapta. That is she's engulfed by that smoke. So Dhumena, she is engulfed. Deeptam Agnishikamiva. She is blazing like a Agni Shikha, that is like that fire, you know, the tip of the fire, whatever. So like a fire is blazing, she's also blazing as even she's rising from the tapas. Satushara Sabhram Purna Chandra Prabham Iva, and her Prabha, so her Kanti is like Purna Chandra, a full moon. But then what kind of Purna Chandra? Not explicitly seen Purna Chandra. Sabhram Satushara Vritam. Tushara is, you know, fog. So she is looking like a moon that is covered by fog. So very foggily they are able to see, vaguely. Satushara Vritam and Sabhra. Abhra is clouds. So Sabhram Satushara Vritam Purna Chandra Prabham Iva. So like moonlight, so Purna Chandra Prabha is moonlight or like moonshine. So moonlight, that is, so how would moonlight appear if it is covered by clouds and then it is also foggy night? So Satushara Vritam Sabhram Purna Chandra Prabham Iva. So she is looking like that moonshine which is, you know, covered by fog or by Meghamandala. And then very beautifully Madhyem Bhaso Duradharsham Deeptam Surya Prabham Iva. So Duradharsha here means, so she is not seen. So she's who's so invisible, something like that. Duradharsha is so she is not seen. That is the idea. But then she is Madhye Ambhasaha Madhye Deeptam Surya Prabhamiva. Here again Tilakakara and Shiromanikara differ in the way they are explaining, and both the explanations are very beautiful. So Tilakakara is saying, so first Tilakakara is telling, so ambhas means water. So ambhasaha madhye deeptam surya prabhamiva. So like sunshine is blazing, but ambhasaha madhye here is, so he is telling ambhas means water, and lakshanaya you take clouds, because ultimately from that water of the oceans, etc., this, you know, we know that process, and then clouds are formed. So ambhasaha madhye means in between clouds, you take it that way. Tilakakara is telling Madhye Ambhasaha Madhye Deeptam Chandra Prabhamiva. So she is looking like that sunshine which is appearing from between clouds. That is Tilakakara's interpretation, and a more beautiful interpretation is Shiromanikara's interpretation, and the more, you know, more explicit kind of interpretation. So Ambhasaha Madhye, like a sun that is rising from the waters. So that Balachandra, or the rising sun. So Bhalachandra means the Chandra, Bala Surya. So Bhala Chandra means the Chandra that is on Phala. Anyway, but Bala Surya, that is that sun that is rising, you know, from the horizon, or if you go to a beach or something, you can see that sun is as though rising from the rivers. She is looking like that. So Ambhasaha Madhye Deeptam Surya Prabhamiva. So she is looking like that Surya Prabha, sunshine, that is shining in between waters. That is as though she is rising, like that rising sun. This Ahalya is also rising. Sahi Gautama Vakyena Durnirikshya Babhuvaha Trayanam Pilokanam Yavad Ramasya Darshanam Shapasyantam Upagamya Tesham Darshanamagata. So that Ahalya, Sahi Ahalya, so that Sa Ahalya. But then what kind of Ahalya? That Ahalya who Gautama Vakyena Trayanamapi Lokanam Yavad Ramasya Darshanam Durniriksha Babhuva. That Ahalya who by Gautama's words, that is by Gautama's curse, Trayanamapi Lokanam, to all the three worlds, Yavad Ramasya Darshanam. So as long as she does not have Rama's Darshana, or as long as she has Rama's Darshana, both mean the same thing, mind you. So as long as she has Rama's Darshana, she is Trayanamapi Lokanam Durniriksha Babhuva. That Ahalya who became invisible to all the three worlds as long as Rama doesn't come, or as long as Rama comes. Why? By Gautama's Shapa, she was like that. That Ahalya, Sa Ahalya, Shapasyantam Upagamya, having come to the end of her Shapa, Tesham Darshana Magata. So she has now appeared in the vision of, that is, she now appeared in the sight or visible range of Vishwamitra, Lakshmana, and Rama. So Tesham here is Bahuvachana, so you should put at least three people. So Vishwamitra, Rama, and Lakshmana could see that Ahalya who was otherwise invisible to all the other, you know, three people of inhabitants of all the three lokas. That Ahalya now suddenly appeared. Slowly she appeared. Raghavau tu tada tasyah padau jagrahaturmuda smaranti Gautamavachaha pratijagrahasa hitau. So this is another very beautiful episode. Various Mahatmas have explained it in various ways. Here also the Tikakaras are mentioning it in various ways. First of all, Raghavau tu tada tasyaha padau jagrahaturmuda. So Muda, these Raghavau is Rama and Lakshmana, both of them. tada tasyaha padau jagrahatuhu. So those Rama and Lakshmana, both those Raghavas, what they do? Tasyaha padau jagrahatu. That is, they did pranama to her. They held on to her padas. That is, they did pranama to her. Tada means after she kind of appeared from her tapas, finally she appeared. Tada tasyaha padau jagrahatuhu muda, out of great. They were also very, they were also very happy. So out of that joy, they also touched her feet. Smaranti Gautama vachaha pratijagraha sahitau. Gautama vachaha smaranti. So she was also remembering Gautama's words. What is that Gautama's words? Gautama said Rama and Lakshmana, Rama will come, and then you should also offer your atithyam to him. That is when your shapa is completely over. Therefore, smaranti Gautama vachaha pratijagraha sahitau. That sachatau is another patha. So pratijagraha is she. So this pratijagraha is the point of contention. So pratijagraha sahitau. Sa ahalya. Tau means Rama Lakshmanau. Pratijagraha. Pratijagraha is she welcomed them, as that is she paid her courtesies to them because they have come as atithi. So pratijagraha here is, so she offered the courtesies that are apt to an atithi. So pratijagraha sahitau. So tau here Shiromani Kara is telling tau means Rama Lakshmanau, and Tilakakara is telling tau means so Rama's 2 feet. So she also did pranama to Rama. Tilakakara is telling, because Gautama said that the same reason, both of them offer the same reason, because Gautama said that when Rama comes, you should do Atithi Satkara to him, and that is when you will be rid of your curse. And then Atithi Satkara involves doing pranama to the Atithi also, etc. She remembers those words. Be that as it may, you can take it both ways. What is the beauty in both ways? So I have heard Mahatmas explaining in both ways. If you say that Rama and Lakshmana did pranama to her, and then she did pranama to Rama, then you can see that the mutual love that they are having between them. So Ahalya is looking upon them as children, and then she has this love towards Rama and Lakshmana, and then Rama and Lakshmana are also expressing her love towards her by doing pranama, and that is one way. But if you take it to be that she welcomed them as Atithi, then the beauty is that, the story, actually the popular story is that Rama touched Ahalya with the feet, but Valmiki's version of the story is Rama did not touch Ahalya by the feet. In fact, Rama went and touched Ahalya's feet. So Ahalya touching Rama's feet, etc., it's not there at all. If you take that second interpretation, this beautiful interpretation also will come. So either both of them express mutual love and affection for each other, or it could mean that Rama had such great position for women in his life that this touching with the feet, etc., or she touching the feet, etc., was not there in his idea. Something like that. Both ways, Mahatmas, I have heard. Both Pravachanakartas speak in both ways. So this Ahalya touching Rama's feet in return is coming from Tilakakara's interpretation, and Shiromani Kara is telling this Pratijagraha does not mean went and touched the feet, but then she extended the courtesies that an Atithi deserves. पाद्यम अर्घ्यम तथाथित्यम चकार सुसमाहिता प्रतिजग्राहका कुस्थो विधिदृष्टेन कर्मणा. So विधिदृष्टेन कर्मणा. So she offered padyam, arghyam, tathatithyam. So this padyam and arghyam should always go together. So whenever you see, even in Veda mantras, etc., it seems, and even in all these, so I heard somebody saying that, so I'm just repeating. Even in these Puranas and then, Ithihasas like Ramayana and Mahabharata, so you will see Padyam and Arghyam always come together. So you have to offer water to wash the feet and water to wash the legs, hands also. Padyam, Arghyam, Tathatithyam. Atithyam. Atithyam is all other courtesies that a guest gets. So Tathatithyam, Chakara, Susamahita. This Susamahita is an adjective to Ahalya. That is this Ekagra Chitta. That is his idea. That is this Ahalya who performed great tapas so far. That Susamahita. So Padyam, Argyam, Tata Atithyam Chakara. So she offered, that Atithya to Rama. Pratijagraha Kakuthaha Vididrishtena Karmana. So Vididrishtena Karmana Atithyam Chakara. That is through Vedokta Vidhi, Smrityukta Vidhi, etc. So according to that Vidhi, so Vididrishtena Karmana means the karma which have been mentioned in the Vidhis. That is in Vedas, etc. Through that karma she offered Atithyam. And then Kakutstaha Pratijagraha, Rama also accepted all that Atithyam. Pushpa Vrishtir Mahatyasi Devadundu Bhinisvanaihi Gandharvapsarasan Chaiva Mahanasit Samutsavaha. So Pushpa Vrishtihi Mahatyasi. So Mahati Pushpa Vrishtihi, there is a great shower of flowers. and Devadundubhi Nisvanaihi. So that shower of flowers was accompanied by Devadundubhi Nisvana, that is by the sounds of Devadundubhi. So I told you earlier, so these Devadundubhis are, you know, that kind of, some kind of trumpets and drums, some or instruments like that, that Devatas play perhaps. So it is supposed to be very auspicious sound. So Devadundubhi Nisvanaihi, there's this great sound, great celebration that is happening in the Devaloka, etc. So Devadundubhi Nisvanaihi Pushpavrishtihi Mahatyasi. Mahati Pushpavrishtihi was accompanied by this Devadundubhi sounds. And then Gandharvapsarasan Chaiva Mahanasit Samutsavaha. So even for Gandharvas and Apsarasas, Gandharva Apsarasan Chaiva Mahan Samutsavaha Asit. Even for Gandharvas and Apsarasas, there was this great celebration, great festival for them, that this Rama has come and then he has saved Ahalya from her Shapa, etc. Sadhu Sadhviti Devastam Ahalyam Samapujayan Tapobala Vishuddhangim Gautamasya Vashanugam. So Sadhu Sadhviti Devaha Tam Ahalyam Samapujayan. Those devatas have praised Ahalya by saying Sadhu Sadhu. Sadhu Sadhu. So it's like an exclamation of wonder. So something great has happened today. So Sadhu Sadhu iti Devaha Tam Ahalyam Samapujayan. So they praised that Ahalya by saying Sadhu Sadhu. And then, so what kind of Ahalya? Tapobala Vishuddhangin. That Ahalya who has now purified herself by tapas. So Tapobala Vishuddhangin. That is, her Shodhana was by her Tapobala itself. So Tapobala Vishuddhangin. Gautamasya. Shodhana means cleansing. Okay, Shodhana in Telugu, and then in Tamil also Shodhana means some challenges that has come to us and something like that. But then Shodhana means so Shuddhi. That's the idea. So Tapobala Vishuddhangin. Gautamasya Vashanugam. So Gautamasya Vashanugam is now this indicates that Gautama also came there immediately. So Gautamasya Vashanugam is, her chitta is now entirely into Gautama. Earlier, for a moment, her chitta diverted into towards Indra, but then now she is completely, her mind is absorbed into Gautama. So Gautamasya Vashanugam. Gautamopi Mahateja Ahalya Sahita Sukhi. Ramam Sampujya Vidhivat Tapastepe Mahatapaha. So Gautamopi Mahateja, that Mahateja Gautamaha api Ahalya Sahitaha. So along with Ahalya Devi, so Sukhi. So he was also happy by rejoining Ahalya. So Ramam Sampujya Vidhivat. So Vidhivat, according to the Vidhi, Ramam Sampujya, he also worshipped Rama as an Atithi, you can take, or he's also a Rishi, so he knows Rama as Vishnu's avatar, etc. So Vidhivat Ramam Sampujya means he worshipped Rama as Vishnu. You can take both ways again. So Ramam Sampujya Vidhivat Tapastepe Mahatapaha. That Mahatapa Gautama, he again continued with his tapas. Whatever he was performing earlier, then he continued. Now along with Ahalya, he continued with his tapas. Ramopi Paramam Pujam Gautamasya Mahamunehe Sakashad Vidhivat Prapya Jagama Mithilam Tataha. So Ramopi, so Rama also Paramam Pujam Gautamasya Mahamunehe Paramam Pujam. So Gautamasya Mahamunehe Sakashad Paramam Pujam Prapya. So Gautamasya Sakashad means from Gautama. That's the idea. So from this Mahamuni Gautama, Rama also received, that is, he also accepted that great Atithyam and Puja, etc. that Gautama offered, and then that is Vidhivat Puja or Vidhivat Prapya. That is, he also accepted the puja as is, as is customary for a guest to receive. So Vidhivat Prapya Jagama Mithilam Tataha. Mithilam Tataha means from that they are in Mithilopavana. Remember, so 2 sargas back, that's how it started. Mithilopavana, they are in the outskirts of Mithila. So in the outskirts of Mithila, this Gautama Ashrama is there, and from the outskirts of Mithila, they finally went to Mithila. Mithilam Jagama Tataha. Tataha means Mithilopavanat Mithilam Jagama. Ityarshe Srimad Ramayane Valmikiye Adi Kavye Balakande Ekona Panchasha Sargaha. So we have finished 49th Sarga, and then we will see the next Sarga in the next class. In the next Sarga, what happens is we will see the entry of Janaka, the great Rajarshi Janaka, great Jnani, great Karma Yogi, that Janaka will enter in next chapter. So these people will enter Mithila, and then Janaka along with his Purohita Shatananda. Shatananda is Ahalya and Gautama's son actually. So Shatananda is the Purohita for Janaka. So Janaka and Shatananda will come to receive Vishwamitra, and then he will ask about Rama, etc. All that story is there. Then that Dhanurya, so about the Dhanush, Shiva Dhanus, etc. Those things will be mentioned. But even before that Dhanur Bhangam happens, that is, even before Rama breaks that Dhanus, will come this long story of Vishwamitra. That is also a very nice story. So that story comes in, I think, some 10 chapters or something, and after that comes the beautiful story of Sita Rama Kalyana. Anyway, so we will proceed. Tomorrow we will meet again around the same time. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kritamastakанjalim Bashpavari Paripurnalochanam Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tatsat Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Ramarpanamastu. So if you have anything to ask,